So if you take a look at the folder in front of you, you will see many facts that are enlightening about our current situation.
All right. Hey there, KRUI listeners. You're listening to 89.7 FM in Iowa City. If you're listening online, you're probably listening on KRUI.FM. This is iHearIC Radio. My name's Justin Comer. This is a show about local musicians and artists and all that stuff. I told you last week that I was going to have Joshua Johnson in the studio today, but we had to reschedule that, so somebody else came in to save my life. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Hello, I'm Brandon, also Purchase.
Yeah, Purchase, electronic musician. He's played on our show before. We had him perform at High Ground Cafe in February, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I was not at that show, so This is actually the first time we've been in a room together.
Yeah. Right. It's like, oh yeah, I know who that guy is.
Yeah, so thanks a lot for coming in. I invited you yesterday, so not a lot of notice, but you're here. So you are Purchase.
Right.
And what does Purchase do?
Make electronic music, I guess. Yeah, there you go.
What words would you use to describe your electronic music?
I don't know. I guess maybe like post-electro, because I guess it's the electro scene is kind of sort of dead, I guess. And like I take a lot of influences and things like that, like from that sort of scene and stuff, and make new stuff. So
cool. Yeah. I am very ignorant when it comes to that scene, so anything. Assume I know nothing, so you can present any information you like.
I guess that would be like Ladytron, who else? DJ Rip and Kitten, Benny Benassi would come to mind. His work with as a group called The Biz, Human After All era Daft Punk, stuff like that.
Okay, cool. So, all right, I know a little bit of that.
Yeah,
so
right.
I kind of understand. And how long have you been making music?
As Purchase, a little bit over a year.
Okay, and what were you doing before that?
Nothing for 3 years, or two and a half, 3 years.
Nice.
And then I had a project called Machine Daydream before that, and it was like this weird amalgamation of like, sort of like stabbing westward type stuff, and like stuff that was like not that, I guess. I was trying to have like a broader like sort of sound palette, but I don't know if it worked or not.
Okay,
probably
cool.
Not, because I'm doing something new.
Yeah. Is Machine Daydream something that you are like bringing back? I know that the show you were going to do at Garden Club had that in its title.
So like there was going to be maybe a couple songs from like that time that I was doing and stuff, and just kind of like a nod to that, I guess, like kind of like that old kind of sound, but like kind of redone in like the Purchase way, I guess. So,
okay, cool. Yeah. So we don't have to get too technical, but what do you use to make your music?
A couch, my hands, and MIDI controller sometimes.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
Any software you'd recommend?
That I recommend?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, honestly, like, if you have ears, you can use any of them. Like, so I've used Reason, I've used FL Studio, FL Studio, I guess what it's called now.
Yeah.
What is that other one? I tried to use Cubase, but I got far enough into it, and I was just like, I'm a dumb person.
Cubase is a lot like coding, right?
Yeah,
I haven't
looked at
that one,
Cubase.
but yeah, it's like line codes and stuff. Yeah,
like no, Cubase is crazy. Like, always wanted to get in that one. Ableton was actually like the first DAW that I used, and it kind of got me into it, kind of like showing like how like some of the process flows work and things like that, and. And the funny thing is that like it really kind of was like, oh yeah, you can do this. I was trying to use it as DJ software originally, and I was like, oh yeah, I'll just mix trance music, whatever. But I was just better at like making, I suppose. But it was really cool just to kind of see how that interface worked and stuff like that. You know, then I moved on to FL Studio, and then I moved on into like Reason and stuff. And now I'll just kind of like different ones are like good for different stuff. You know, like I always thought that like some of the older Reasons always had like really great sound quality and like that, like just like amazing synths and stuff, like the Maelstrom, I think.
Yeah. My wife bought Reason when we were in college, so we have that at home, and it's got the Maelstrom is awesome. Yeah, it's a cool sound. I've used Ableton a little bit, and I mostly just use it for its drum samples.
Okay,
you can make really good drum loops with what they have in there.
Oh yeah, like one of the things for like drumming and stuff was that what is it called? The redrum drum machine from Reason. I always thought that was like super sick. I mean, it can't do everything, but I guess in terms of like actual sort of like tones and stuff like that, it was super cool for that. So yeah.
So you have a show coming up this month, right?
Yeah, it's July now, so yeah.
Yeah. It's July 1st. What can you tell us about that?
Well, it is with an artist called Fire Tools. It'll be at Trumpet Blossom, put on by Feed Me Weird Things, Chris, like really great guy. I'm thank him a lot for letting me play this, because I saw it last year and I went to a couple things. I guess, when did they stop doing it? Was it January? I guess before like the second series.
I don't know when the last one of season 2 was.
Oh, are we on season 3 now?
I believe this is the 3rd, but maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah, but anyway. Like, it's really cool because it's like, it's just different music you're not going to see. It's like, oh, well, I'm a rock band, so I'm going to be the one that plays slower or faster. But with this, I feel like it's just stuff that you wouldn't see, like, normally at like a venue or something like that. So it's always like this kind of, you go into the bar and, I like when I go to the shows, I actually try not to listen to too much because I like to go to them and kind of be surprised by what I hear. Because, very often, like, if I'm not, how am I trying to put this? Like, if I listen to it beforehand, I'll prejudge what I'm going in to go see, right? And so it'll be like this thing of, oh, I listened to that and I didn't care for it. And then it's like, oh, well, I have no, that it lessens the amount that I'm going to go. But with Feed Me Weird Things, I really like going there and just kind of like, this guy plays like really, really quiet and stuff like that. And like, makes the venue come down and the Trumpet Blossom sort of environment is very like, what is the word I'm looking for? But it's like your eyes just go like straight there and it's got like kind of like the mood lighting or whatever.
Yeah. It's kind of like a dark, small space.
Yeah. It's almost like a basement show.
Yeah.
And I really like that vibe. So yeah, I really enjoy going to it and yeah. Pretty good. Yeah,
we had Chris, the organizer of Feed Me Weird Things, on this show a few weeks ago, and got really deep into that and why he brings weird artists into town to perform at Trumpet Blossom, and it's a really unique series that's happening here.
Yes, it is.
And I opened for Matt Blair, which I think was the first Feed Me Weird Things of the season. I think that was the first one this year.
He was the organist, right?
He played a Fender Rhodes. You were at that? Okay. Yeah. I Wombat opened for him, the improv trio with me and Carlos and Will.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that was fun. And then, so what date is your show?
My show is on July the 20. Let's see here. I'm so terrible with dates.
I have the notes. It's
okay,
the 21st.
He has the notes.
I was just going to let you.
I know it was July 2 and then a digit. I know that much. So.
Yeah, you're on the 21st, and you're opening for Fire Tools.
Fire Tools.
I don't know anything about Fire Tools. Do
I
you know?
do. I don't know. From what I've seen, it's like this sort of. It's kind of like the best of like micro genre kind of stuff that's out now, like sort of like the vaporwave sort of aesthetic and stuff like that. It kind of has that very left of the dial sort of feel to it, and I'm really excited to go see that. Like I've seen like a lot of their images or her images online and stuff like that, so I'm very excited to go see that because it's because Purchase can get kind of into like the weird, and I feel like that is going to be a really fun show to play, and like I don't know, just. Have fun with people and I guess be fed weird things, I suppose.
Yeah. You're doing the feeding and then you're being fed after that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so maybe now's a good time to play some of your music on the show.
Okay, sure.
Do you have any tracks that you'd like me to play?
Yeah, let's do. So this next track coming up, it will actually be released as like a single. Probably towards the end of July. It'll have, it's a bit more, I don't want to say put together, but it's some of the more almost like Bjorkish influences are kind of there. It's a song called Performance Mode. Then keep in mind the title might change. And I'm always uncomfortable with titles, so this is kind of the rough version of that. So
okay, and this hasn't been released anywhere?
Not yet.
Okay,
not yet,
so this is a iHearIC exclusive.
Right.
All right, here's Performance Mode by Purchase.
check, check. Yo, we'd like to roll out a 3 days a week opportunity to you guys. Music. Campus Activities Board. Campus Activities Board. First word, campus. Bringing students together. Good time. Second word, activities. Movies 3 nights a week, comedians, road trips. Last word, board. Wood, nails. Fun time. Check Cab out on Facebook for all our events.
All right, and we're back with iHearIC Radio.
Hello.
Hey, there's Brandon over there. Before that, Campus Activities Board public service announcement, you heard his track Performance Mode, which has not been released yet. So this is the first time you've heard it.
Right. Oh, God, what, 6 minutes of it? Sorry, everybody.
No. I'm all about playing long tracks on here.
There you go.
I played like a half-hour live performance on here once.
Oh, nice.
So before that break, well, is there anything else you'd like to say about the track we just heard?
Trying to think. Anything in particular? Not really. It's an older track that I like.
Oh, okay.
It was from like the seed of the song. I think is from. It's a Purchase 2 outtake.
Okay.
Then I just like built it up and did all that stuff. So yeah.
Cool.
Also, his name is Justin Comer, not Cormer.
It's actually Comer.
Comer. Comer. See, I'm just getting this wrong all the time.
That's right. Like I said, this is the first time we've met in person, so I don't blame you for not knowing my name. So you mentioned earlier that before Purchase you had like a two-year break roughly from making music. Is that something that you'd like to talk about?
I mean,
is there a reason that you stopped?
Like, I don't know. I think that the plan was never to like really end Machine Daydream, but I think it was good that I did because like, I think as a musician, you always have that sort of naive green project that you have towards like, you're doing it wrong and you're wrong, just from experience, and it was good for what it was, I think, but I think that the lessons had to be learned, incorporate people more when you're doing a group project, maybe. I don't know.
How many people were involved in this?
It was 2. It was kind of like a like I would do like vocals at the time. God knows why. And I would do vocals and make some of the music. And I would have like kind of a guy like to kind of run the system or whatever. And without like a lot of input from people and things like that. And the inexperience at the time, like I think that would probably be like sort of a not great place to be, essentially, right? Just kind of like, and I think that's why so many people, I ran through people like doing that stuff. And, sometimes I do it by myself and it was just kind of like, this is all right. And I think that like with Purchase, I think in some aspects, it's very much that Machine Daydream mindset, but I think it's a lot more experience, if not to a degree, if not cynical. I don't, just kind of like, just like, all right, well, this is what I want to do. So do that. Like, mentioned about like the sound palette earlier and just like trying to have like a smaller idea and, understand that like, if you're a painter, you're not going to paint the whole entire planet, you're going to do something, typically maybe stick to like a style or something like that. Something that is, your voice or something, and I feel that like with Purchase, it's a lot of experience that like musically that speaks to that, and yeah, it's a lot of fun. So I'm less stressed maybe like doing Purchase rather than say Machine Daydream. I would say a lot of that more comfortable, I think, in terms of expression and stuff. So.
Yeah, so you're having a better time as a solo act.
Yeah, because I think that a lot of what went wrong with Machine Daydream I don't do anymore. Like it's fun singing stuff like that, but that's not what drives me like artistically, right? Mm-hmm. Inspired to do something. I get inspired to make music, but not necessarily to like write lyrics and like practice them and like perform and all that stuff. That part of it, and that's not me. I'm the other guy.
Right. Yeah, I'm awful when I try to write lyrics. Mm-hmm. It just doesn't drive me. I'm not really a words guy. Mm-hmm. I'm a noise guy.
Right. Yeah.
So I guess we're just getting to know each other. Where are you from? Are you an Iowa City native or
not? Not an Iowa City native, but I mean, I've lived here for like, Jesus Christ, 9 years now. So
Okay,
it's like,
yeah.
okay, yeah, you're a native. But grew up in Tulsa, Oklahoma.
Oh, okay.
Lived in like Germany and England and stuff. Dad was in the Air Force. So
Oh, I see. Yeah. And you're wearing a Brazil shirt right now.
I am. There's no real symbolism behind it, I suppose. It was really hot yesterday, and I've been wearing this shirt since like last night. So
Nice. Yeah. And you, during the break there, you mentioned something about the soccer game.
The soccer games.
Yeah. Are you a follower of the sport?
Oh, I love it. Is my favorite sport. Like honestly, it's like a tie between like soccer and music for me. Like I absolutely love it. You know, like I love like MLS. I love watching a lot of that. It's unfortunate this year that the U.S. didn't make the World Cup. So like trying to follow Mexico. Hopefully they go deep in the tournament. It'll be just cool seeing a CONCACAF team like get past like maybe like the round of 8. You know, which I'm hoping for. But they've got to play Brazil tomorrow and. You know,
yeah,
I've heard they're a good team.
This is another thing that I am very ignorant of. So, how is it looking for Mexico, just in general?
Like I said, they play Brazil tomorrow.
Right.
I mean, they did beat Germany, so that's something. I mean, it wasn't a German side or Die Mannschaft that was on. They weren't playing like 2014. That's for sure. And I think they can do it. Because, you know, Brazil has gone from being a team of like multiple like hard points in their setup to kind of like, I love Thiago Silva. I mean, this is all Greek at this point, but
to me, for sure, yeah.
But like, I feel like increasingly like Brazil's kind of a one-man team in Neymar, and like it's all about getting him the ball. And I think with this World Cup, I think that's biting a lot of teams, you know, because Messi and Ronaldo both went out yesterday.
That's a name that I've heard recently.
Yeah. So Messi wears the blue shirt and Ronaldo wears the white shirt. No,
Got it.
I think it'll be very interesting. I think in a lot of ways, this World Cup kind of reminds me of like the 2002 World Cup, you know, teams that wouldn't normally make it are making it and stuff like that. So I don't know, it'd be interesting to see how it all kind of shakes out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hope everything that you like happens.
Right.
I hope it's an enjoyable experience for you.
I hope so.
So how often do you play live?
Roughly once a month or so, I think, somewhere around there.
Cool.
Yeah.
What's your favorite gig that you've played so far?
Favorite gig? I liked Mission Creek a lot. That was super awesome. Let's see here, because I think the decks I played with Kaleidoscope. I always call them Kaleidoscope. I know I'm wrong, but Kaleidoscope. I was playing with.
Is it Kaleidoscope? Is that how you're supposed to say it?
Yes.
Okay, I've been saying it wrong too.
Okay. I played with Kaleidoscope a lot, and they had like a great performance. And then I was introduced to an artist by the name of Laurel Halo. Introduced to her work because I had never heard of her prior to that. But in the run up to that, I was listening to her music and stuff like that. Very, very good, and like I was happy to be a part of something like that. I've always seen Mission Creek, like, oh, I'd love to play that, and actually getting the opportunity to do it was really awesome. Yeah,
that is great. It seems like they had a few more local acts playing this year. Although I guess I haven't really been following that closely to compare.
Yeah. There's always a good amount of local acts, as far as I know. Like, God, I know Ion's played it a couple times, I think. Alex Body, artists like that. So, yeah, like there's always a good local, not local. There's a better word to say that. Local and
national.
National, sort of deal. So, there's always a good balance, I think. I think this year was really awesome because there was a lot of kind of like just interesting acts in general. Like, I'll always make it out to like a couple of days and stuff like that. But, I would have friends go to like certain days and be like, oh, you should have seen this person. I was like, what? It was like that. I think it was Monday, Tuesday, that first night. I think I saw Ion that first night. And just like as it was going on, you could just tell like, people were just more and more excited. And then, just like, oh, I think that I was out fairly late, like that Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. And it was
nice. So you got to see a lot.
I got to see a lot, and then I got a pretty gnarly flu like the next day.
Yeah. Yeah, unfortunately, I was pretty busy that week, so I didn't get to see much. I had a pretty like intense spring, so I had to miss a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
What was your favorite thing that you saw at Mission Creek? Aside from your own show.
Oh yeah, my show. I'm just kidding. But I would say the Dessa was cool.
Okay.
What was that rapper? What's his name? Oh my god, his name escapes me. I actually talked to him after the show, and I can't for the life of me remember his name.
Let's pull up the lineup.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing.
We'll go one by one.
Let's see who I saw here. Oh my god, oh my god. I wish I would have seen Black Plague though. That is one of the things that I missed that I really, really, really wish I would have seen. And I think I was just like outside or something like that, and it was like, "Did you go see Black Plague?" I was like, "No, I didn't." And like, it was freaking awesome. Cakes Tequila. That's his name.
Right.
I saw like the tail end of his set, and just like I guess forgot his face, and then we were like talking like next to like the Gabe's bathroom or something, and it was cool.
Yeah. He was. Somebody yelled something at him that night as well.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Yeah,
It's
not great.
Yeah.
But he chased him down, which is
right.
Yeah, good for him.
Can't say it would have just done the same thing. It probably would have just been like why bother? You know?
Yeah, just a middle finger and
right,
get out of here. Yeah. So I asked you what's your favorite gig you've played.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't mind me going here.
Oh, please do.
What's the worst gig you've played?
The worst gig I ever played was, I want to say it was like a Memorial Day or like Labor Day. It was some holiday, right? And it was with Machine Daydream, and like I've got just kind of like I mentioned earlier about like kind of like the naivete, the inexperience or whatever. Mm-hmm. And we had all these cables in like essentially a Sterilite container, right? And we just left them up there on the stage. Had like like a MIDI controller, all that crap in it. And this band they're getting off the stage. They're like, all right, Machine Daydream, you're gonna be next. Blah blah blah. I go on stage to get set up and cannot find this thing for anything. And like, we're, doing God knows what. It's like, okay, well, this band's closing down. We'll go on stage after them. We'll set up. All will be fine. And we can't find this thing. And that's literally those are the cables for the whole entire setup. And it's just like, oh my God. And like, we go home because so it went from, that's weird. And to, are you sure you packed that? To, oh God, this has become the worst thing in the world. And like, oh man, it was just like this slow motion car crash of like performance. And the thing is, I didn't even get to perform,
Right, because you didn't have any cables.
Right. But
did you ever find them, or is that gone forever?
No, I'm pretty sure the band that went on before us just took them.
Oh
their
man,
stuff.
that sucks.
And if you're, and to be honest, you're a road band, maybe you're living off a per diem, and just like, that is a box of cables that we could all use. They just took them, and it probably was an accident, but still, like it was hilariously terrible.
Yeah,
like
sucks.
in hindsight.
How long ago was that?
Oh God, 4 years ago, I think, somewhere around there. Yeah, because it was before like the hiatus. But it was like one of the last few shows I played.
So the wound is healed.
Yeah,
somewhat.
I think.
How long were you doing Machine Daydream? I don't think we covered that.
Probably too long. I was doing it from like 2008 till 13, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's a decent run, even though you didn't like it that much.
Well, I mean, it wasn't that I didn't like it. It was that, like, I liked it, but it was still, like, it's one of those things, too, where, like, when you, like, after you play, like, you're playing bass or something like that, and you play with, like, your first drummer, and you're like, oh, so this is, like, super cool. Like, this goes together. I can't wait to show people I can, be part of a rock band. And I think that was kind of it. It was like, I wanted to get out there, and I wanted to, have that conversation with the audience, but I don't think that at the time I was maybe exactly ready for it, but it's something that I needed to do, something that I needed to, I don't know, get out of my system, I guess. So.
Yeah. All right. So it's 4:30, which means I need to do a weather report.
Oh, fantastic. Is it hot outside? I'm just kidding.
Yeah. It's not as hot as yesterday, but still pretty hot. It's mostly cloudy.
Yeah.
It's 81 degrees Fahrenheit. Feels like 84. 15% precipitation, 62% humidity, and 17 mile per hour winds from the west. It's pretty windy also. That helps with the heat.
Do I talk now, or do I have to...
You can comment on the weather report. Any feedback on the weather?
It's fine, I guess.
Yeah. I love having to do that because it like totally derails the show every time.
Oh no.
No, it's not that bad. No. I mean, we got to do it. The people got to know.
Yeah, right.
They have to know what the weather is.
What are they supposed to do? Walk outside?
Yeah.
Jesus.
So maybe we should play some more of your music. What do you think?
Sure, if you want to. Let's do a track that was from Stardust Disco called Love Again. Mm-hmm. Like, it was just a fun little song. Like, I think I was just, I don't know, again, on the couch, like, doing whatever. And, like, I was kind of like, I think I've got something. And it was a really fun sort of, like... you ever like, you just have one of those evenings and you just like maybe write or just draw like a whole lot. And this was like one of those things that it was just done in like 3 or 4 hours. And I was like, yeah, I really like that.
All right. So this is a track that was like a one sitting. And then it's over.
Yeah.
You finished.
Yeah,
cool. Yeah. That's always nice to get something done. And
right.
then it's done.
Right.
All right. So here's Love Again by Purchase. That was Love Again by Purchase, who is sitting here in the room with me.
Hi, everybody.
While that was playing, I got a message from my wife, Ashley, and she said, "Oh, this one is really good." So she likes this one in particular.
Thanks, Ashley.
And if you are listening live to the show and you have feedback for Brandon or myself, you can tweet at us if you'd like. It's at iHearIC. If you have something nice to say, maybe I'll read it on air. So that track was from your latest album release,
yes,
which is called Stardust Disco.
Yep.
Where can people find that?
They can find it on SoundCloud. It's I changed the track list, but it doesn't really matter. But yeah, you can find it on SoundCloud. Find Purchases. What's the word I'm looking for? Oh my God, website, SoundCloud ID. Is that what it's called?
I guess, yeah. And if
yeah, just soundcloud.com/purchase and you'll find it. Yeah.
I have noticed that some of your stuff is very hard to Google.
Really?
I type in Purchase and then like Bandcamp or something, and it's like every Bandcamp because every Bandcamp has the word purchase on it.
Right. Well, I think the problem is, and this is probably my own short-sightedness or whatever, it's the money sign S. That's why.
Yeah.
And it's just this dumb stylistic thing, to be completely honest. And So you'll put that in and it won't find it. So essentially it'll be PURCHA blank or underscore E. Or they'll just get rid of it, and it's like, all right, maybe I should just maybe change that back.
It's a good name though.
I mean, yeah.
I don't think anyone else is using it, right?
Just the money sign S. That's it. I'll change it to like a euro symbol or something. I don't know.
If you're out there and you want to hear Brandon's music, it's purchase, but the S is replaced with a $sign. So
yeah. Or just do the SoundCloud one, because apparently, like as I'm looking at it, the SoundCloud is just straight up purchase. Like it's just the word purchase, I guess.
And if I am counting correctly, you've released 3 albums worth of music?
Yes, that is correct.
Under the name Purchase? Okay, cool.
Yeah.
You've got Medium Desire, and then Purchase 2, and then Stardust Disco.
Yep, that's right.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
And I bought your first 2 on Bandcamp, and they're good.
Thanks.
I played a few tracks from it on this show.
Cool.
And people enjoy it.
Nice. Thank you, random people.
Yeah. Is any of your Machine Daydream stuff available online?
Oh, Jesus Christ, probably. I'm so sorry if you find it. Yeah, I'm very sorry. No. I think that one of the tracks from Medium Desire is actually the last kind of sort of release I did as Machine Daydream, and then it just sat on the shelf for years. What is I'm pretty sure the Reverb Nation for that is still up.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Jesus. Do people still use that website?
I don't think so. I think, and the worst part is that I did use it for Purchase for a little bit, and I was just kind of like, why am I doing this?
I was like researching. I have like an archive of iHearIC live show recordings.
Yeah.
And I was like trying to find websites or profiles for bands that played like in 2011 and stuff. And like Reverb Nation was coming up, and I was like, oh yeah, I forgot all about that.
Right? Oh my God.
Yeah. Were you a MySpace user ever?
Oh, I was yeah. Oh, I loved MySpace.
Yeah. I played in like a punk band in high school that had a MySpace. It's probably still out there.
Oh my God. That's the weird thing too, is that like those profiles are still just there.
Yeah, if you didn't go back and delete it, it's still out there.
Oh my God. I got to find my old, and the worst part is that like my MySpace was like, oh, it's going to be like emo, and I'm wearing cause I was like sort of into that, but it was weird because like towards the tail end of it, I like really got into it, and probably just like awful like high school posts and stuff like that. Jesus,
I did delete my personal MySpace in like I don't know, like 2010 or something. Even that was so long ago. Deleting it, thinking it was old and bad. You said you're from Tulsa, right?
Yeah.
How long did you live there? You said you moved around because your dad was Air Force.
God, it's been 11 years since I've been in Tulsa.
Okay,
something like that. Yeah.
You have family there?
None.
Okay.
Absolutely not. Yeah,
just a temporary situation.
It was one of those things like parents got divorced, whatever, and for some reason, my mom was like, Tulsa, Oklahoma is where I want to live. What? And so we moved to Tulsa, lived there for 7-8 years, something like that, and. Yeah, it's where I think a lot of my musical inspiration comes from too.
Oh yeah,
like just because you're thinking it's Oklahoma, there can't be like a lot of culture there, right? It's because Bible Belt, etc. And growing up in Tulsa, they had this program called Planet 106.9, and on Friday nights about like 9-10 o'clock, the radio station would go from like its typical like sort of like top 40 thing. And then just would play like dance music all night.
Nice.
And so I'd be like drawing whatever. And, they would play, they would play things like Daft Punk songs. They would also play like the remix albums like Daft Club and stuff like that. Or, people like even like Crystal Waters, Black Box, people like that. And you'd just be listening to it and just be like, oh, this is like super cool. And so, it was always surprise to me, like when EDM, I guess, I'm doing air quotes, by the way.
Yeah.
When EDM blows up, and it's like, what is this? Like, this has been all the same music we were listening to, 4 or 5 years ago. This isn't new. It's not a surprise. It's like, oh yeah, dubstep is just poppy jungle. It's slowed down, and what is where. Yeah, I don't know. It still kind of gets me, but it was always really nice there, like being exposed to like culture like that, and I think they did a really good job about doing that. And then move out here and I get introduced to like indie rock and stuff like that, living in Omaha and Council Bluffs and then to Iowa City. And one of the weird things about that was that Smashing Pumpkins, huge band, right? They would never play the Smashing Pumpkins on the radio in Oklahoma.
Why is that?
I have no idea.
Huh.
Like, I didn't know the Smashing Pumpkins really were a thing until like 2004, 2005.
Really?
Yeah, they just never played them on the radio down there, like at all.
Wow. I think I probably first heard Smashing Pumpkins, I guess in the 90s. I don't know. I lived in Lincoln, Nebraska as a kid. And I was aware of them, back then. Never. But they were playing like Stabbing Westward, Gravity Kills, like really like industrial rock, and is angry and filled to the brim with Mountain Dew. And then I move out here, and they're like, "Hey, do you like Of Montreal? What is that? Do you like Tegan and Sarah? What?" And there's like all these different bands I'd never been exposed to, but I like they're different, but I guess they affected my sound, and I love them both, I suppose. I guess wide palette of music. I don't know. Yeah. So you mentioned your family a little bit. Do you have musicians in your family?
Yeah. My sister sings. So does my mom. My dad, he sings, but he like dad sings, so he's never like actually singing. He'll just be like, singing something off in the distance, like dramatically as possible,
Yeah.
Let's see. Anyone else? I think my grandpa played guitar.
That's cool. Yeah. Me too. My grandpa played guitar, but he died before I was born, so I never saw him. But I did inherit his guitar.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, my grandma decided to fix it up and give it to me for my, really cool. I want to say, 11th Christmas or something that. I don't remember exactly.
That's a heck of a gift.
Yeah. He had like a parlor guitar, like those little acoustics.
Yeah. Oh, that's sick.
That was my first guitar.
My first guitar was a Bridgecraft bass. It was like a knockoff Fender P or J. Nice. I think. And really nice thing. But then I just never took care of it. It just slowly went to crap over time. But.
Yeah. I think this guitar is still at my parents' house.
Yeah.
I don't think I brought it with me. It's not like a performance.
That's like an heirloom. Yeah, that's an heirloom.
Yeah. All right. Maybe want to play another track. I've got your first two albums here ready if you want any tracks from those played.
Let's do Tropic Blue. I like that song.
Tropic Blue. All right. You released this one as a single too, right?
Sort of. Like literally. So it was funny because not really funny. It's just weird, really. But so I released Tropic Blue by itself for some reason. Maybe like I was on Bandcamp, like screwing up or something. And then I had released Purchase too. I think it was like the same day. I was like, why am I doing both like differently? Like this is like months later, but yeah. So I wouldn't consider Tropic Blue its own specific release. Okay, more just like a typo,
an accidental single.
An accidental single.
All right, so here's Tropic Blue by Purchase. It's on his second album, Purchase 2.
Support for KRUI is provided by Little Village. Little Village is Iowa City's independent, community-supported news and culture publication. Little Village's event calendar connects readers with critical cultural opportunities. Through journalism, essays, and events, Little Village works to improve our community according to core values: affordability and access, economic and labor justice, environmental sustainability, racial justice, gender equity, quality healthcare, quality education, and critical culture. Little Village can be found in print editions at local businesses in Iowa City, as well as online at littlevillagemag.com.
Little Village, everybody's favorite Iowa City publication. I don't mean to make any enemies there, but I assume we all like it. If you're just tuning in, this is iHearIC Radio. My name's Justin. I'm here in the studio with Brandon, a.k.a.
Hello.
Purchase. And just a minute ago, you heard his track Tropic Blue from his album Purchase 2.
Inspiring title. Sure.
It's cool because the first album was not called Purchase. It wasn't like a self-titled and then a sequel. It's like Medium Desire and then Purchase 2.
Right, yeah.
It's kind of like the Rambo movies. You know, the first one is First Blood, and then the second one I think is Rambo 2. I think that's how the naming scheme works.
Yeah, I think it is.
Yeah. You're
and
following.
then, like, the fourth one is just Rambo.
Yeah, you're following the example there. So your fourth album will be Purchase.
Yeah. Jesus.
I don't know if you do you know about the band Genesis?
Oh, yeah.
And Peter Gabriel, his solo career, his first 4 albums were just called Peter Gabriel.
Yeah. Like, and that's
I was looking at that recently. It's funny.
Yeah, like it really, because like Led Zeppelin did that, and it's just like, I think it's kind of funny. Like it almost has that like over the top like theatric quality to it. It's like, oh, it's this huge thing, you know.
It doesn't need a name.
Yeah,
it speaks for itself.
Yeah, I just know what it is, man. Like, what is it like?
You know me.
Was it Led Zeppelin 4? I think there's not even a title for it.
Right. There's like not even words on the cover. It's just symbols.
Yeah, it's like Led Zeppelin, man.
Yeah, you know who we are by now.
Right, Jesus.
Someday we'll be at that level.
Oh God.
As if there's even like physical releases anymore.
Oh my, seriously. Like it's interesting now because you just have to like keep all of that together. Like okay, do I put it on Bandcamp and like SoundCloud both, all this stuff, and it's just like, is there a better way to do that? You know?
Yeah, and I mean we're basically just begging people to listen to it anyway.
Right. Yeah.
Does it matter what platform it's on?
No, it really doesn't. And if you have listened to it, thank you so much.
Yeah, I think Bandcamp's my favorite of the streaming sites, I guess. I haven't tried to put my stuff on Spotify. I don't know if
I haven't either.
Yeah,
I think I have a song on Spotify by accident. Yeah,
somebody else do that without your permission.
Well, it was with my permission, but I didn't think that it was going to actually like be on Spotify. So like it was a track from Purchase 2, Vice District number 4, and that's just on Spotify. And what was the other one? Like Bandcamp's fine. Like it's really easy to use. It's very bare bones. And like with SoundCloud, I think I prefer it slightly more to Bandcamp because I actually have like more interaction with it. Like the more I use SoundCloud, like the more I'm like, you know, listening to like, you know, other people's music and stuff like that, or like it's very easy to just like explore on SoundCloud as opposed to like Bandcamp, and it's like you have to put
it has a little bit it has a little bit more of a social aspect to it too, which is probably good. I don't know, I barely use SoundCloud. I just really don't like the 3-hour limit.
yeah
because I'm in the business of like really long recordings and stuff. So
the Podfather.
yeah so geez, what other websites have you used?
Well, I was using Google this morning.
That's one that I frequent as well.
For music. Sorry for chewing in the microphone here. I have a cough drop in my mouth, and it's the worst thing. Like I just love always having a cough drop. I don't know why. Oh God, for music, MySpace, Reverb Nation. No, not for Purchase stuff. I don't think, or Machine Daydream stuff. I don't think I ever used MySpace for that, or if I did, it was for like a weekend, and I forgot the password and never used it again.
Yeah. Do you ever put music on YouTube? I've done that a little bit.
I just like put up. I think it was Medium Desire, and then like I don't even think I've logged in. It's like ever since. I should be on top of that, but I don't think. Yeah, it's there if you want to find it, I guess.
Yeah, cool. Maybe this is a bad topic, but
yeah, no worries.
But how do you feel about money?
Money?
Yeah, I mean, like getting paid to perform, people buying your stuff. Where have you seen success and where have you struggled?
I mean, I guess it's all relative, really. Like, I mean, I get a lot out of like people just listening to the music, you know?
Yeah.
Because it's stuff that I've worked on for like hours and stuff like that. And, you know, I always have the feeling that if no one's like, why make it, I guess, at least from my personal, I guess, sort of artistic credo or belief motto, I guess, for myself, is that if I'm making this stuff and I can't share it, I can't have that conversation, then like I'm just kind of talking to myself. You know, they're doodles, you know?
Sure.
And I guess it doesn't matter as much, you know? I guess, you know, shows are probably, those pay, I guess, but I don't know. I don't really have like a lot of, it's not like I'm selling t-shirts or anything like that. So
Right,
like,
yeah.
There's not so much experience,
Yeah.
I guess, on that end.
Yeah, it's just something I try to bring up occasionally on the show because like I feel like a lot of people like in my orbit like want some level of success that we're not really achieving because like how do you make this work, you know?
Well, I think it's twofold, for instance, right? I think that part of it is as an artist that like understanding your worth, because you're not like art at a certain point in how you want to create it and stuff like that. It's not you're not always constantly looking for exposure. Sometimes it's this is something I use to support myself with certain artists. This is something I'd like to use to support myself, and just being like, you know, full stop. Like, I'm not going to do that for you unless I get paid. Right?
Yeah.
And I think for the consumers of that, like, you know, it has to be that, like, you know, you can get it for free and things like that. But I guess respecting that that's something people do to support themselves, that it's a craft job. You know, I was talking with some friends the other day at Gabe's, and we were just talking about, like, you know, you are a craftsman, you know, you hone your craft, you practice, you listen, and you do all these things to provide that for someone else, you know, to kind of take them out of their normal rigmarole for a little bit and, you know, enjoy music, kind of calm down, de-stress from the day as much as possible. And, you know, to a degree, that is a service, you know, that is a service that, you know, provide to society at large. And, you know, it might cost you something, you know, like, and, you know, I hate to be so, I don't want to say capitalistic, but like just that give and take, you know, like, you know, hey, like, you know, you're a cook, I'd like to try some of that. Well, it's going to cost you $1.
Right.
Fine. You know,
we don't really question that.
Yeah, you don't question that. But like with artists, I think it's a sort of thing that we're okay with it being questioned a lot more than we should be, I think.
Yeah,
and
I think
just
so.
being like, you know, hey, no, like, you're going to, you know, pay me for my time. You know, you're paying door guys, bartenders, etc. Like, I should be too, right? You know, so I don't know. It's artists should be paid. Like,
yeah, that was great. I'm glad I asked you that. Yeah, and it's hard not to consider things like in a capitalist sense, because like that's where we are. Like we're stuck in this.
Yeah,
you can't like. I mean, we are in a capitalist society. Yeah. We have to make money, or we're gonna die.
Pretty much.
That's pretty much where we're at. So if we can make a little bit off of something we like doing, that would be nice.
Right?
Yeah.
And I don't know. I was thinking it's very interesting that, like, I actually forgot what I was going to say, but yeah. Maybe it'll come to me and I'll post it on Facebook.
Cool. Yeah. Yeah, we're down to the last 5 minutes of the show, so I don't think we should get too deep into the capitalist theory and everything. So with the last few minutes, maybe we should plug some stuff.
All right.
Do you have anything that you need to plug?
Yeah. So most importantly, Feed Me Weird Things with Fire Tools and Purchase on July 21st. That should be super cool. It's at Trumpet Blossom. I think it starts at 9, 10, something.
It's supposed to start at 9, yeah.
Yeah, at 9. It should start at 9, and I look forward to seeing people out. Should be a very good time, or at least a weird time. And then Purchase will be releasing a single towards the end of July, and there will be more information about that as the weeks go on. So
yeah, follow on Facebook and Twitter and all that stuff.
Twitter, Instagram. I post nonsense on Instagram as much as possible. So,
Instagram is the one that I haven't got into.
oh, Instagram's the best.
Is it worthwhile?
Yeah, like I like Instagram more than Facebook.
Yeah.
Yeah, just because like it's like just pictures and no one's really talking. So it's like you just take all of Facebook, put your finger out its mouth and go shh, and then you just enjoy the better parts of Facebook, I suppose.
Yeah. Any other plugs you have before I get into my list?
Thanks for listening, I suppose.
Yeah. All right, so there's a few other Feed Me Weird Things shows this month.
Oh, yeah.
Or maybe just 2 others. But before yours, on July 12th, that's a Thursday, 9 p.m. at Trumpet Blossom, as usual, we've got Period Bomb with special guest Praxis. Neither of these artists are familiar to me, so that should be interesting.
Right.
And then there's your show on the 21st, as you already mentioned. And then at the end of the month, July 28th, again, 9 at Trumpet Blossom. Daniel Weish, he's a guitarist and improviser from Chicago. He's coming into town, and I will be opening for him with my friend David. We're going to do some saxophone, synthesizer, improvisation stuff. It should be a good time.
Yeah.
I've got some samples from the David the Gnome theme song that I plan on incorporating. And if, in a little more of a traditional sense, if you are looking for some concert band music and you live in or around Cedar Rapids, the Cedar Rapids Municipal Band is in the middle of their season. They usually have shows Sunday and Wednesday nights at 7:30. I run sound for them. That's why I bring it up. You can find their full schedule at crmuniband.org. Tonight we're going to be at Knowledge Park, if I remember right. I'll have to check the calendar before I drive up there.
Cool. You're getting as bad as me with these.
And next week's radio show, I plan on having Joshua Johnson in the studio, as planned for today. And that'll be July 8th at 4 p.m. If you like what you heard today, again, this is called iHearIC Radio. We also do a concert series in the fall and the spring, so we'll be getting back into that in August. We have a website. It's iHearIC.com. At the bottom of that page, we have links to our Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube pages. And every episode of this radio show gets recorded and released online. And so far, I have that up on iTunes, Google, Mixcloud, SoundCloud, and Stitcher, and any other websites that pull from those. But if your podcast website of choice does not feature iHearIC Radio, please let us know, and I'll do my best to get it up there. Also, every episode, I include a lot of links to artist bios and stuff, so you should check that out. And if you, listening, have music that you'd like us to hear, or shows coming up that you think we should know about, please get in touch. The best way to do so is by email, ihearic@gmail.com. I'll do my best to get back to you. So, that's my list of plugs. I think we should close out with some music.
Okay.
Do you have a favorite that you'd like to close the show with?
How about, you probably don't have Starfighter. Let's do Galaxy Cop. Let's do that one.
Galaxy Cop. That's a good one. All right. That's from Medium Desire. So I'm going to play Galaxy Cop 2011 by Purchase from his album Medium Desire. And that's the last you'll hear from us today.
Right. Sorry.
Brandon, thanks again for coming in. You saved my ass. Here's Galaxy Cop.
89.7 KRUI.
All you fascists bound to lose. I said, all you fascists bound to lose. Yes, all you fascists bound to lose. You're bound to lose. You fascists bound to lose.
89.7 KRUI, Iowa City.